Welcome to the Improve Work podcast. I'm your host, Daniela Tancău, an HR consultant helping entrepreneurs and team leaders build motivated, high-performing teams. Here we talk about leadership, employee motivation, and other topics that enhance your ability to lead, whether you are an entrepreneur with a team, a business owner planning to build one, or a leader in a company. You'll gain practical advice and insights from me and my guests, experts in the field and entrepreneurs who share their leadership experiences. If you are new here, be sure to subscribe to stay updated on every episode. Let's dive into today's topic. Hi, I'm glad that you are back here. And in this episode, we'll discuss the autonomy your team members have in their jobs. So, how much autonomy do your team members have in their roles? The more you trust your team members to organize and make decisions by themselves, the more time you free up for other important activities for your business or in your personal life, right? Increasing their job autonomy is in their best interest too, because their motivation is higher when they are not just following instructions, but contributing and putting their own mark on their work. They engage more, not only because they are participating, but because they decide on themselves what to do, how to carry out their activities, or how to solve the challenges in their jobs. Now, let's see what can you do to increase your employees' autonomy in their jobs. Some employees may be used to working independently and making different types of decisions in their jobs, while others may lack the experience or confidence to do so. And besides experience and confidence, the employer also needs to have the goodwill to make decisions that serve the best interests of the business, right? And this aspect is also a matter of trust between the leader and the team member, and vice versa. Let's look at some ways you can increase your employees' ability to make decisions in their jobs. First, ask them to always think themselves about solutions when they encounter issues in their activities, even when they don't yet have permission to make decisions on their own. In this way, before they discuss an issue with you or with their direct supervisor, they already thought of that issue, and because they are directly involved, they may know the most details about it and could have good ideas to overcome it. Ask them how they would solve the problem and give them feedback so they understand whether their solutions are effective or need to be revised. And over time, they will become better at this. Another thing that you can do is to encourage them to collaborate with their peers. Sometimes an issue can be solved with the help of a colleague without needing to discuss it with you. Also, ask them to keep these collaborations transparent to you so you know each employee's contribution, the status of the issue, and when you might need to get involved in these discussions. And in this way, you can improve their collaboration if it's not working well and set expectations for future collaborations. In case you have an employee with whom you plan his or her daily or weekly activities, ask them to organize their activities themselves and present them to you for approval. And over time, after more discussions and feedback, they will understand how to organize themselves better and how to carry out their activities more independently. Reduce the number of meetings you have with your employees to check the status of their activities as they become more experienced. Even if in the past you had to check, for example, on a daily basis, how an employee is performing his or her task, once you see they are completing them successfully, reduce the supervision. You could ask for a daily or weekly activity report instead, so you always know what they are doing. Develop their skills by providing them with training or mentors. The more competent they are, the more you can trust them to make decisions and manage themselves. You can encourage them to propose changes to internal procedures and processes if they have ideas to improve them or if they observe issues with them. Procedures and processes are meant to help employees to do their jobs, but if these are not updated for new situations, or if they reduce the employee efficiency, they fail to serve their purpose, right? And in this way, employees have more freedom to choose how they carry out their work. They also contribute more significantly to the company's results. One small change in a single process can bring big substantial improvements for the company, right? Until now, we've talked about how to increase your employees' competencies and help them grow so they can become more independent in their work. But as mentioned before, another important factor in increasing your employees' autonomy is your trust in them. No matter how competent an employee is, if you don't trust him or her, will you give them the freedom to make decisions? So, what can you do to build trustful relationships with your team members? Now, even if building trustful relationships is a two-way street, as a leader, you set the tone of the relationships with your team members. And let's talk about some key behaviors that will help you build trust with them. First is to keep your word. If you've promised something to an employee, keep your promise, even when it is a small thing. Or if you plan something with him or her, honor what you have agreed on. Require the same from your employees. And yes, sometimes we need to change our plans and show flexibility, but if these situations become the norm rather than exceptions, they will create uncertainty, confusion, and of course, a lack of trust. Then be impartial and ensure equity. For example, if you have two employees with similar levels of competence and performance, but you give only one of them the opportunity to a higher position, this would not be fair to the other employee, right? Who may also want the same opportunity. Inequities will reduce or undermine an employee's confidence that he or she will be treated fairly. And besides this, inequities can lead to withdrawal, lack of engagement, and behaviors through which the employee tries to correct the unfairness they believe has been done to them. Another way to build trust with your employees is to be available for them. Encourage them to communicate with you when they face difficult situations so you know when they need support or help. Then give constructive feedback and avoid criticism. Frequent criticism can make some people hide their mistakes or the things that they know others don't like in order to avoid unpleasant feelings or situations. Often, as a protective mechanism, we don't even hear everything the person criticizing us is saying, and we tend to reject the message. But through constructive feedback, we learn what we did well, what we need to improve, or how to repair our mistakes. And we also get to hear the other person's perspective and reasons for requesting certain things, while our self esteem is protected. And more than that, we have the opportunity to learn and grow. Another way to build trust is to recognize your mistakes so they know you are honest with them and you take responsibility for your actions. In this way, you set the example for the expected behavior from them in similar situations. Then acknowledge your team members' contributions and successes and avoid taking credit for their ideas or work. If their efforts go unnoticed or unappreciated, why should they continue adding value in this way, right? So, how many of these strategies and key behaviors do you apply in your relationships with your team members? If all of them, good job. If not, check daily if your interactions with your team members and your decisions related to them are aligned with these strategies. You could also add other useful tactics or behaviors to this list that you think will help you increase your employees' autonomy in their roles. And in this way, you create a plan that will guide you day by day. Because only when we set ourselves up to achieve something, we can actually take action to accomplish it, right? Otherwise, we'll probably forget about it or we put it aside until we think we have time. Can you afford to put this aside? So every time you resist taking action in this direction, think what you'll gain by acting and what you lose if you don't. Thank you so much for listening. If you'd like to receive more guidance, sign up for a free consultancy session. I love to talk with you and see how I can help you with your team. You'll find a link in the description of this episode. Thank you so much for watching this episode. If you found value in this podcast, one way to support us is by subscribing. For more tools and insights to enhance your leadership skills and your employees' motivation, visit my website at improvework.ro. There you'll find a variety of online programs and courses. You can also book a free consulting sessions or a discovery call with me. I love to connect and support you on your leadership journey. See you in the next episode.